table, but the power don't show. Whispers in the dark, deals in the shade. Build from the fire, now the city's afraid. We don't bluff, we make the game. Every move sparks fear and fame. From the forge to the peak we grind. Mess with the best, get left behind. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up we hold the crown. Stacking chips while they chase the fame. We write the rules, they just play the game. The Syndicate runs this town. Don't forget the name. You hear the clatter of chips. That's not luck. That's legacy. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town, now fade out. The Syndicate, cold blood, no doubt. We run this town now, fade out. Yeah, the Syndicate runs this town. From the underground up we hold the crown. Stacking chips while they chase the fame. We write the rules, they just play the game. The Syndicate runs this town. Don't forget the name.
And we are live. We are here. It is, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Dominion run from the... What is going on here, you crazy people? It is the Dominion run from the Syndicate. And nobody wants to listen to anything. There it goes. Been off the air for a minute. We got our players ready. The tables are ready. We're still trying to figure out all of the audio action, and we're also trying to figure out why in the hell nothing's working. We're playing on Poker Now at pokernow.club. We got 2 tables of action going tonight. Your usual Syndicate crew, along with all the newcomers that have come that you have yet to see on this Monday night. Let's take a peek at who those players are tonight. We've got Marta. Quadzilla's in the house tonight. Biggie Large, the bully. 4 King Ace Hole. Millie, Molly Mary, Casely, Jam Rock and Roll, Freak Child, Daniel Biscuit, No Fold Frank, and who knows who else we might see come wandering in tonight's game of the Syndicate's Dominion. Game number 1 as the fall season is back underway. We are shuffling up and dealing as we speak. 2 tables of action with tons of players tonight comparatively to other games. Let's go take a peek at what's going on in table 1. Where we've got Casely, Boss, Lyrialis, Jam Rock and Roll, 4 King Ace Hole, and Millie all at that table. With a King Deuce 6 all of clubs. On this first hand of the Dominion series. Everybody taking a little time there. Let's go check out table number 2. Where we've got Quadzilla, Marta, No Fold Frank, Molly Mary, Biggie Large, and the Freak Child. With almost a similar looking board sitting out there. Quadzilla going 310 on this 8 of hearts at the end of this one that we've just tuned into. Molly Mary calling it, and we'll take that with a pair of 4s. Quadzilla only with a high card. But everybody's in, everybody's playing. It is the Dominion game number run. Run? No, game number run. Game number one has the runs. Freakchild in the action with three diamonds on the board. Man, we haven't done anything since open house. Can you tell? Oh, look at that. We still have the logo up there, too. Damn technical crew can't get anything right, can they? Well, we've got a 6-9 Jack on this board. Freakchild checks it over to Biggie. Biggie will go 20. Freakchild will call that. Freakchild checks the Queen of Spades. Biggie Large taking that one down with a full house. Jacks over 9s. Freakchild thinking his pair of 5s were good. What a fool. Ha ha! With that, don't forget, it is the Syndicate, and that one doesn't want to work either. So to hell with that, we'll just go over to table one. The Syndicate Poker Club playing over on pokernow.club. The Syndicate with their own website, syndicatepokerclub.com. Taking a look at table one here, Millie. Casely folding out on the limp in at 10-20 blinds. Boss folding out. Jam will limp that one in with 4 King Ace Hole checking his option. 20 from Jam. Over to Millie. She will call it with another 5 on the board. And a 4. 20 and 20 to go. Pair of queens. Well, 2 pair. Queens and 5s. Queens will hold. Millie showing she had a pocket pair of 9s. Had some interesting audio issues, so for those of you that really enjoy all the music, you may not be getting all that much tonight. But you can always check out the Syndicate's own Bandcamp profile. I think it's just called the Syndicate /bandcamp.com. Something like that. We don't have that for you. Jack Queen 3. Jam and Millie going at it again. 20 from Jam. Millie go 20. 20 to Jammer. Another 9 rounds that one out. And Millie will take that one down with 2 pair of Jacks over 9s. Well, there's our action so far, gang. As we said, we've got 2 tables running all simultaneously, so we'll be checking back and forth to our tables this evening until everything kind of winds down to 1 table once we get down to 10 players total. Where are we at? Table 1? We need to check out table 2 with a really wonderful flop sitting out there. 3-7-3. No fold Frank. Going against Marta here with a 6 of hearts. Sitting on that river. $1.40 to go for Marta. And that will end that hand out. Freakchild and Biggie Large ducking out. Molly Mary out of there. Nobody wants to see anything for that little tiny blind at 20 chips. Marta going up to 60. $1.40 from quads. Marta will see it. 5-4 King. Two clubs on that board. Marta checks it over to Quadzy. Quadzy going to buck 40. Marta going over the top on that, which will get Quadzilla to fold. And we will not see what in the hell that was all about. Everybody kind of limping in here on table 2. The child checks the action. King 7-10. Check from Quad, check from Freak, Biggie, Molly, Frank. Everybody checks around all the way. And the checking continues as they get John Malkovich at the table. Check, check, check. He trapped me. Oh, there goes Molly going for 40. Marta calls it off the quads. And quads will go for 100. Molly will go ahead and play along with this. With an 8 of diamonds on the river. Molly will take that one down. Pair of 10s holds. And there it is. And that will actually give Molly Mary a current lead in first place on the chip lead. Marta coming in second, Biggie Large third, Millie in fourth. Everybody's still pretty tight at the beginning chip stack. Low blinds, not much action going on as far as placement on everybody. But there's your top 10 right there so far. Three spades on this board with 3 players going. Biggie Large, Molly, and No Fold Frank. Frankie says 322. Biggie says more. Molly says okay. Frank has to think about this one. Frank says go ahead. Make my day. 500 from Biggie with the queen finishing out on the river. Molly's running with it. This hand could be just about anything. We got a full house. We got a flush. We had the straight. All 3 possibilities, and all 3 of them were there. That was a good hand right there. Could have been anything. All right, well, enough from table 2. Let's go back and take a peek at table 1, see how they're doing. With a Jack 5 of clubs, a King of diamonds, a 7 of spades. Everybody except Casely and Boss in on this hand. They're John Malkoviching now. Four hearts comes on the river as everybody checks it down. And Jammer will take that one with his whopping pair of jacks. Casely under the gun as the blinds go up to 20-40. Larry Alice. King 8-5. 40 from Millie over to Jam now. Jam goes up over the top big time for 200. And a 5 comes on the turn. The good old turn of turmoil. And Acer will let his Jammer will let his aces stand proud as they hold up and do not get cracked. Millie and Casely in the blinds 20-40 respectively. Jammer limping in off the forking ace hole. Rumor has it he may fall asleep. Ten Jack. That is completely rainbowed up. A 3 of hearts comes on the turn. Boss checks. Larry Alice goes for 40. As she will take that down. Speaking of Larry Alice, coming out of Europe, has had the best season of sit and go rankings over on PokerNow.club. 13th overall on the best season. Series games won. That is incorrect. Apparently, some data did not transfer because there haven't even been that many games in the Syndicate series. But so far, 111. No, just kidding. Has no notable poker accolades outside of the Syndicate. However, was the season champion. Series champion for the summer series 2025 summer series Syndicate first free roll that the Syndicate held. Took that down in fine fashion. Syndicate overall sitting in 9th as the Syndicate's overall ranking system of over 30 players that play in the Syndicate. So there we are. Casely and Jammer going at it with an ace-5-3, 2 diamonds on that board. Casely says a $1.20. Jammer will go. Another diamond comes up. That one is a 10. Casely says a $1.20 to go again, and an 8 of clubs to finish that one out. And check. Jamrock will have 2 pair aces over 10s, aces and 10s, however you want to call it. And that will end that hand from table 1. It is the Dominion Run. It is the Dominion Run right here on the Syndicate's YouTube channel, the Syndicate Poker Club, syndicatepokerclub.com. Playing free poker over at pokernow.club. You too can play for free. Check them out, pokernow.club. Free tournaments, free sit and goes, free ring games. Or, if you're good enough, maybe you could even play with the Syndicate. All for free. Have your 15 minutes of fame on this lousy broadcast. Over to table 2. The Quadzilla Freak, Biggie Large, Molly Mary, No Fold Frank, and Marta. Starting out a new hand. Blind still at 20-40 for just a short bit longer. Everybody limping in. Frank will check his option. Wrong logo up at the top. This is not the open house. Although a very interesting series from the Syndicate. 4, 6, 7, 10. Lots of possibilities out there, especially with this 3 on the river. Molly Mary says she can make something with that. Going with 80. Frank will play along, and that's about it. Frank did have the straight over Molly Mary's 2 pair. Catching on the river. Good old River of Tears from the Syndicate. Well, we got a 3 queen 6, 2 diamonds on the board. Frank in the hot seat with the action of 40. Marta, the ninja, will play along with Frank. A 9 of spades. Frank says $1.75. That'll be a shave and 3 haircuts. No fold Frank playing the pocket kings, the Cowboys. Hold tight against Marta. Let's go take a peek at table 1. See what the fuck is going on over there. 3 Jack 8. 2 diamonds. Boss in the hot seat. She'll go 40. Ace will play. Waiting on Casely to make a move. Too busy talking about Disney shit, apparently. Boss checks it over to forking ace hole. 10 of diamonds on the river. And Boss will take that one down. Oh, there it is. It were a little pretty. Just a little bit. Just a little. All right. If you guys keep an eye on the action for a bit, I'll be back in a moment. things have gotten interesting. Or have they? Oh, they just did. Boss will take that one down. Pockets running wild on the Syndicate's Dominion Run Game 1. I'm just going to have to call it the Dominion. I can't keep up. It's a tongue twister. That's all I got to say. SyndicatePokerClub.com. Stats, rosters, calendars, game links, all sorts of good shit out there. Check it out, the Syndicate Poker Club. They play for free, but they play for real. Just like Monopoly. Although some of the other players do play for real. Just because the games that we bring you are all fake, or not fake, but free rolls. That's fake poker, bitch. Even though that it's free poker, they still play it as though it's not free poker. But it's all free roll. That's all you need to know. Does it matter? Probably not. In your minds, oh, these guys are losers. No, they're even taking on the cash games also. We just can't broadcast that to you here on the YouTube channel or the Syndicate Poker Club. All sorts of past games, final table championships, and all that good rotting jazz for you poker minds out there. Or if you just want to tune in and watch your friends play live poker. This is a live poker game, by the way, being brought to you. Being played over at pokernow.club. Free poker with friends. We have a thing for that somewhere. I don't know where it went, but that's okay. I guess we're watching a hand. Table 1. Hastely. Looking at a 1,500. So that's 1,280 to go there. Boss will take that one down. Trip 7s. Lines are up to 30-60. Casely Boss and Millie. 3 ladies going at it. Queen Ace Deuce, 2 diamonds. Millie says 60. Casely says no. Boss will not. Go pop over to table 2. Let's see what's shaking over here with 2 kings and a 9. Molly Mary, no fold Frank heading into this one with a 10 of spades on the turn. And a 3 of clubs to round out that river. Frank says 60. Molly Mary asking if a 5 high is good. Molly Mary actually coming off of a big win herself with the Poker Now Sethi free rolls, actually. Ended up qualifying into some sort of a free roll tournament that she ends up getting a buy-in to some streaming tournaments and all this other stuff. Gets to take on whoever this Sethi Mower, whatever his name is. Sethi Poker, as he's known, on the YouTube circuit. Gets to take him on along with a couple of other named YouTube poker players, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Molly Mary ended up finishing out and taking on the game number 2. Finished out winning that one. So now we have 2 players in the syndicate, actually, that have won a Sethi tournament. Casely and Molly Mary both have each won one. Casely taking down a $200 Amazon gift card tournament that she ended up winning. And then Molly Mary taking down Sethi for a buy-in to a bigger tournament, as well as some other stuff at a casino that will not be named because we do not endorse that because they don't support us. So to hell with them. And then, in any case, congratulations to Molly Mary. Speaking of Casely, when we go back to that table, we'll look that up. For the time being, we're not going to do anything. Freakchild betting out 60 over to Biggie, who will fold it. Freakchild playing out his king from the beginning with the big slick. Molly Mary going up a little more. Jack, 7 ace. We're going for 60 on this one. Frank says no. Biggie large says another 60. Molly Mary saying nope. Triple that. And we will go for a river card of a 3 of spades. Molly Mary tripling it up again. That'll be enough to get Biggie out of there. Biggie was running with the jack the whole time. We'll never know what Molly Mary had. That's enough from table 2. Let's note I said that's enough from table 2. Let's go to table 1, where we've got an ace queen jack on the board along with a 4. Casely, Boss, Larry Alice all in this hand with an 8 of clubs on the river. Lear will go 60. Casely's going to go with that. Boss. And Larry Alice Casely split potting right there. Speaking of Casely, as we promised, hails out of Colorado in her 40s, multi-time World Series of Poker, the actual real live World Series of Poker, cash finishes. Once again, Series Games 1, you can't even see that because there's a light bulb in the fucking way. Best season sit and go rank is 49th. Syndicate overall sitting in 2nd right now. But to her credit, in the Syndicate, has taken down the Omaha Overdrive Series and the World Shift Series as series champions on those. So Casely definitely one of the ones to look out for, especially for the rest of the syndicate as they are in the playoffs of their face-off series currently. Big Giant heads-up tournament that's been going on since July. They are just now finally getting into the playoffs. Working ace hole, 28.80. Big bet. Bet in the pot. Over to Millie, who will say no thank you. And 2 pairs, aces over jacks. On the river. Lines have gone up to 40.80. Actually, it did that a couple minutes ago. If we didn't already say that. Jamrock says no thanks to limping in. Forking ace all ready to go limp. I mean limping in. He goes limp when he's in. What? Millie. Millie. We'll call it Casely in the option. We'll just check it. 7, 10, 9. 2 clubs on the board. Casely goes for 80. And we'll take that one down. Interesting action going on over at table 2 if we can ever just get there. Freak Child, Molly Mary. Molly Mary going 16-20 with a big board out there. Freak Child calls it. Had the queen the whole time. Ace, King, Deuce, 2 clubs. Quadzilla. Waiting to see what he'll do. He'll be out of there. Freak Child calls it. Freak Child checks it over to Biggie. Freak Child with a big bet, 960 bet in the pot again. Biggie Large is out of there. Freak Child showing his 3 of a kind kings. Biggie Large now going up, doubling up the blind. $1.60 to go. And it appears that will be enough to get everybody out of that hand. Molly Mary going 240 pre-flop. Triples up, 3 bet on that line there. Biggie Large in the big blind. Molly Mary, reverse that. Quads will go up this time, doubling up. $1.60, 80 to go for Molly Mary. Ace 3-8, rainbowed out. And a 7 of hearts. Got 3 hearts on that board now. Molly Mary. Checks it. Quad makes a move for $1.60. Enough to get the pot. Trip 8s. Both tables starting off new hands. Table 1 flopped a Jack 3-9. Table 2 flopped an 8-9-8. Ace. Let's see which hand gets more exciting here. Table 1, table 2. It's like being at the optometrist. Better 1, better 2. Both tables going all the way down to the river there. Looks like Molly Mary will take that hand over on table 2, and Millie will take a straight over on table 1. PokerNow.club. That's where the Syndicate plays. You can check out the Syndicate at syndicatepokerclub.com. backstories, games, tournaments, past tournaments, leaderboards, player profiles. It's all there, including links in order to join the Syndicate if you think you're worthy enough to play for free but play for real. SyndicatePokerClub.com. Or Syndicate Poker Club. Yeah, whatever I just said. You know, something. There you go. Go check out table 1 there. King 5, 6, 2 hearts. And a 3 of diamonds comes on the turn. And a 2 of clubs to finish out the river. And Jammer will take that one down with his pocket 7s. Blinds will be pretty much going up next hand. Millie is in the hand. Casely says no limping in for me. Boss on the option. Ace 10-9. Rainbowed out. Quadzilla just survived an all-in over on table 2. Leary Alice taking that one down. Take a peek at what's going on over at table 2. King 5, 6 of diamonds. Sorry, King 6 of diamonds, 5 of spades. I'd say 2 diamonds. Pardon my French. Was that French? Diamonds are a girl's best. I'm back in high school. Blinds are up 5,100. Marta's going to be in. Quad is out. Freechild limps in. Biggie Large checks his option. Freechild checks it. Checked around there. John Malkoviching this one. Marta has the last option here. Looking to either buy the pot or get some donations. Or just truly have the 5 for the straight, probably. Molly Mary taking that one down with the ace showing. You only get a peek. Ladies never tell all. Just the bits and pieces, just to tease you. Molly Mary going up 250. Freechild calls it. 8, 7, 10. Now 4 hearts. That'll put 3 hearts on the board. And that bet'll be enough to get Freechild out of there. Molly Mary saying, I'm keeping it a secret. I'm a classy lady. Speaking of classy ladies, how about how our wonderful kleptomaniac came to life? Oh, let's hear that in music, shall we? I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy the action.
Triple espresso and a Mountain Dew chaser. Heart's racing like I'm dodging a laser. Over caffeinated and not drunk at all. No whiskey haze, just a caffeine brawl. Nerves on fire, but my screen is cold. This online hell's where my soul gets sold. And what I do I called a race with what I thought was a lot. Turns out it was a napkin and a fork. Guess I'm playing poker on a caffeine torque. The group chat's roasting, they think I'm dead. I'm Googling if caffeine fries your head. Where's Chase? Who knows? He's free and tan. While I'm here crying over rubber bands. Where the fuck is Chase with AC Slater? Sober as a monk in a poker trap. Reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. I argued with the cat and the game got tense. I wanna know where Chase went. He ghosted mid-hand, just fucking left. Last I saw he shoved with queen 5 off. Now he's in my ass. Wait, I'm in Miami. Sober as a monk in a poker trap. Reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. Let's go! Sober as a monk in a poker trap. Reading the board while losing my crap. Nothing I'm saying is making much sense. I argued with the cat and the game got tense. I wanna know where Chase went. He ghosted mid-hand, just fucking left. Last I saw he shoved with queen 5 off. Now he's in my ass. Wait, I meant Miami.
And that is the story of, wow, where did Chase come from? A game series, actually, that has now been created by the Syndicate. A song that was written because, well, two guys got rowdy in a chat room. And then a name came up, and then a character was created. And then, what do you know? The character was created, and so was a game series. The Where's Chase game series? I'll give you the teaser to that here in just a few. But you can find out more information about that over at syndicatepokerclub.com. And don't forget, the Syndicate is playing live currently right now on pokernow.club. Free poker with friends. Free poker client. You can play for free too. Check it out. Keeping an eye on table one here with the Dominion Run, game number 1, as the fall season of the Syndicate gets underway. Games starting pretty much every day for the next 8 weeks, 2 months almost, up until Thanksgiving. A bunch of final tables there towards the end of November, so a lot of action to be seeing. Tomorrow's game will be at 1:00 p.m. Eastern, middle of the day game for the Syndicate. At least for those of you in the U.S. For those of you that are not in the U.S., that'll be maybe the middle of the night, middle of the morning. But that's at 1:00 tomorrow afternoon Eastern time. That one is the Accord. Syndicate players actually voted on what time that game was going to be played. Got a 7-7-9 showing here on this board. Now another 9. 2 pair on the board. Leary, Alice, and Casely in this hand. That will get checked over to Casely, who says 4. Leary Alice will go along for the ride with a whopping 3 of hearts on the river. And Casely will take that one down with the ace kicker. Blinds are up 5,100 now. Or have been, I guess. They're about to go up again here in about another 2 minutes, shy of 2 minutes. The Dominion Run, actually a grinder series, starting out with low blinds and progressively, slowly raising throughout the entire game. This game will not be nearly as fast as some of the other Syndicate games you may have seen on our YouTube channel. By the way, while you're here, hey, subscribe. Or click the, what do they say? Smash the button. Smash it. Just smash that subscribe button. If you want to be alerted to our ridiculous games, go right ahead. We're listening to more poker songs that the Syndicate writes, including Syndicate Island, written by Four King Ace Hole on the lyrics. A little magic from Freakchild on the back end of that with some AI. And some guitar riffs. Seven of Hearts comes on that river. Millie, boss. Boss will take that one down. Pair of sixes for her. Not every hand in poker can be exciting. What? Wait a minute. I have a feeling somebody's... Am I supposed to say this shit on air? Is that what I'm supposed to do? I don't know what to do with that. Or what that means. Four, 5, 9 on the board over here at table 1. Apparently this is girl talk over here. Feeling bad for Forking Ace and Jammer. Jack of Spades comes. Oh, another Jack of Diamonds comes on the river. Doubled up on the board there. Millie will check it over to Casey. Casey checks, check, check. And Millie will take that one down. 2 pair of jacks over 4s. Because she had one and she had the ace kicker. Not that it really mattered. The ace kicker didn't matter. So, there you go. While they're having girl talk over at table 1, we're going to go back over to table 2 and see what in the hell is going on over here. Blinds are up 75, 150. Biggie Large has popped it up to 300 to go. No Fold Frank will play along with him. 8 deuce 8 on the board. Or sorry, Queen deuce 8 on the board. 2 spades. 500 from Biggie. Frank taking a good think on this one. He will go with it. 4 spades on the turn. That will give us 3 on the board. Biggie Large going large. Half the pot there pretty much. A little less. Frankie going all in. Here it comes. Biggie Large thinking about this one good after making the initial bet of 750. Frank going over the top on this one. Suspense is killing us. And Biggie Large goes with it. Did not have a hope or a prayer on that one. As No Fold Frank will survive the all-in and double up a little bit more than that with Queen High Flush. And with that, we're going to block up Marta for just a minute here. Take a peek at our leaderboard. Freakchild sitting in first, sitting about 8,600. Molly Mary right behind him. Casely sitting third. Four King Ace Hole sitting in fourth. Imagine that. Jammer Boss rounding out 5th and 6th. Quads, No Fold Frank, and Millie. All the way down to our 9th place. Apparently our 10th place, because our screen got screwed up. And there's our 10th place. Sorry, Marta sitting in 10th. Out of our 11 players, I believe we have at the tables tonight. 12 players, pardon me. I've just been corrected. And rounding out our 12 places, Larry Allison, Biggie Large. That makes everybody feel a little better now. that's where we're at. All right, headed back into table 2. Biggie Large will take all the blinds on that one. And take them back, actually. Seven, 7, 8. It is rainbowed up. 1 club, 1 spade, 1 heart. Off to no fold Frank. These names are giving me tongue twisters tonight. Biggie Large going for $1.50. Frank goes up over the top big time. Pretty much pot bet right there, $8.25. And that'll be enough to get Biggie out of there, who caught a 2 pair on the turn, but was not willing to see much more than that. Blinds are up 75, 150. It's quad. We'll see that one up a little bit more and bump it up. Molly Mary will play along. Frank will come in. And Marta will stick with it. 7-8 Jack. Check, check, check. And Quadzilla says, no more checking, no more freebie cards. $7.50 to go for Molly Mary. Frank is out. Everybody is out. That'll work for Quad. Keeps his hand a little bit of a secret. $1.50 to go for Quad. Under the gun. And he's going to go up again. Freechild will go with it. Molly Mary. Out. Frank. Out. Marta says no. And Quadzilla Freechild going heads up on this one. $4.50. With a jack of spades on the turn. Both players check it. And a 5 of diamonds comes. And Freechild pops out of that one. Over to Biggie Large. Sitting at a short stack with $6.60 left. I read that, by the way. Just because I'm not broadcasting your table doesn't mean I don't read that. 2 queen ace over here on table 2. 2 diamonds. No fold Frank, Quads, and Molly all going at it again. Frank goes $3.93. And that's enough for Frank to take that one. Two, 8, 6, 2 clubs on that board. Freechild checks it over to Frankie. Checks it over to Marta. Marta says 6 to go. Quads is out. Freak is out. Frank out. Enough for Marta to take that one down. Nice little pot. Pad the chip stack there. Frank going up. Quadzilla thinking about it. Freechild's out. Biggie's out, and Frank will take that one and take a few more chips to his stack. So there you go. Well, let's find out what's going on with the rabble-rousels over, whatever the fuck they are, over here at table 1. Talking shit all night long. Boss Lyrialis Millie. Now it's just Larry Alice and Millie with an ace, king of diamonds, and a queen of spades. 450 to go from Millie. And that'll be enough. Pocket kings from Millie there. Everybody thinking about limping in over here. Forking ace, all taking his sweet time over there. Trying to figure out whether or not to limp in. He does. Millie. And now off to Casely. Everybody limping in so far. They have a family pot so far. Jamrock will check the option. Family pot over on table 1 of the Dominion Syndicate Series. The Grinder. 6, 10, 7. 2 diamonds on the board. Over to Casely, who says 300. Larry Alice goes for 300. We're off the forking ace hole. And off to Millie. 300 to go. And she says no. Larry Alice will check it over to Jammer with the queen of clubs on the turn. Casely going another 3. Forcing the hand of power. And Casely will take that one down. Poor forking ace hole. So they say. Forking ace hole. Loves him some Omaha High. Comes out of Los Angeles. He's kind of old by his own admission. His best season sit and go rank over at PokerNow.club. First, Hims 2 has too many series games on his thing, but he's been a Poker Now sit and go season champion is his only notable poker accolade. So that's about it for him. We need to check in over here at table 2 real quick. Biggie Large just survived an all-in. We wanted to pop over and catch that real quick as we will head back over to table 1. With 4 hearts on that board, Millie will take it with a 5. 5 of hearts was good enough to take that flush. As we go on, with the blinds being 100, 200. Another one of our players at the poor men at the table, Jam Rock and Roll, hails out of Australia, 68 years old. 44th best sit and go season rank. Currently sits 14th overall with the Syndicate in the 2025 Syndicate Series rankings. Once got quads at the Flamingo in Las Vegas. Three of a kind from 4 King Ace-Hole. He will take a big pot on that one. Which gives us even more reason to check our leaderboard. Freakchild sitting in first. Casely second. Quads sitting third. Molly Mary has dropped down to 4th now. Jam Rock and Roll 5th. 4 King Ace-Hole only moved up to 6th with that pot. No, that can't be right. That cannot be right. Somebody refresh that. Thank you. Oh, I guess that is right. That can't be right. Well, to figure out what's going on. How about this? We'll just do this for a second. Where are we at? Where'd our music go? It was supposed to be 10 minutes of that. Oh well. It's back, and I'm back, and who's back? We're all back. It's Table 2 of the Dominion Run. Syndicate's Game 1 of the Dominion Run. The Grinder. As we start off the fall season of series games. One almost every day of the week if you're in the U.S. Depending on where you are at the world, you might have doubled up games each day. You can check out that whole entire series schedule over at the Syndicate Poker Club official website, syndicatepokerclub.com. Stats, games, rosters, how to join, backstories, media files, live stream links, all that good stuff. All over there at syndicatepokerclub.com. For all of you poker aficionados. Marta is all in with an ace-jack suited over pocket kings. Catches an ace on the flop. It looks like Marta will. Oh, Marta does not survive. The River of Tears has claimed Marta with a king on the river to give Molly the trip. So Marta will finish out game number 1 in 12th place. Lasting out a little over an hour before our first elimination. And an elimination by the river once again. The River of Tears. That's why we wrote the song, River of Tears. Which you can find on the Syndicate album, All In, All Wrong, and Syndicate Sessions over on their Bandcamp. Lines are up at $125 to $250. Limping in all the way over to Molly Mary, who's in the option over here on Table 2. 7-6 King. Molly Mary going 250. Freak Child's out. Biggie Large will play along with the 10 of hearts on the turn. 5 to go. Over the top, Biggie Large going all in with the straight. And that will a little more than double up Biggie Large there with a 5,000 chip pot. Put him right back in the game. So that's what's going on over at Table 2. Let's go see what's going on at Table 1, where they have yet to knock anybody out. With a 9 King Jack on the board, 2 diamonds, a 9 and a jack. Now a 3rd diamond and a 6. Apparently this is the jokester table where they're telling really bad, horrible dad jokes. Millie, 250 to go. Casely, nope. Boss out. Leary Alice can limp in here. And she does. Off to Jammer. Ace, Queen, 9. Ace of spades, 9 of spades. Queen of hearts. Leary Alice checks it over to the Jammer, who says 500. Leary Alice says no thank you. $250 to go for Jammer. And Millie will take down those blinds as Boss goes under the gun at $250. Boss says, no, we're going up. No free limpies or anybody like that. She does not want Four Kings limp. And Boss will take down the blinds. Nobody wanted to play with that one. Jammer, 250 to go. No thanks. Four King Ace will play along. Millie, no go. Casely to limp in. Says no thanks. Boss checks the option. 9 deuce 6. 6 of hearts. Deuce of clubs. 9 of spades to go. 8 of diamonds. On the turn. 1125 to Boss from Four King Ace hole. Boss showing a pair of sixes. Four King Ace hole showing nothing. He ain't got nothing to show. Everybody apparently getting scared as the blinds are going up faster and higher. Actually, they're not going up any faster. They're still going pretty decent rate for these guys. This is a grinder series. So the blinds go up incrementally slowly compared to some of the other Syndicate games that are out there, such as the Crucible, the Gauntlet, and of course, the wonderful series called Where's Chase? The Crazy Bounty series that the Syndicate has come up with. I'll give you guys a peek of that here real quick.
I don't need no chips, I just need your flair. Freak child's coffee, now it's my kind of affair. Acer lit a smoke, blinked once then sighed. That priceless lighter, baby, it's been chase-ified. You're here for the blinds, I'm here for the buzz. Like a glittered up raccoon with a god complex. Just because. Catch me if you can, Syndicate elite. Your roster's full of killers, but I'm light on my feet. I don't play a hand, but your table's been pranked. I'm the klepto kingpin, and you are my bank. Millie poured her wine, turned once it's gone. She suspects the dealer, but that read is so wrong. You built a fortress of cold calculation.
Well, there we go. That is the Where's Chase series. Once again, a character that was created all from a chat room, poker chat room. Actually happened on pokernow.club. Believe it or not. Go take a peek and see what's going on at table 2. Anyway, that was Chase. That's what he looks like. That's the character Chase. Ace 7 deuce on the board here. Molly Mary. Nobody wants to play with Frank with his 250, and he played the 7 deuce, had 2 pair. Frank's going to get out of there. Quadzilla. Going to bump it up to 5. Molly will play King, 5, 10. All rainbow to club and heart and a diamond. Now a queen of diamonds. Sorry, a queen of heart and a spade. A queen of heart and a spade. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. What day is it? Blinds are up, $125, $250 still. They're about to go up again here. Pretty much after this next hand. 9, 10, 8, 2 spades and a club on that board. Frank says 250. Freakchild says no. Quadzilla will bump it up, doubling it up to Biggie. Biggie will play for 500, 739. $250 from Quad on that. That'll be enough to get Biggie out of that one. No fold Frank. Under the gun for 300. He will go. Freakchild comes along for the ride. Molly Mary on the option. And disappears momentarily, but checks the option. Check, check. Frank will check. Fold Frank? No fold. Fold Frank, no. Molly Mary, 300 to go from Freakchild. And nobody wants to play. Freakchild will take that one down. And we have just lost another player as we are down to one single solitary table. This is the quote-unquote final table. As apparently Millie was our victim, as Millie will get taken out and end in 11th place of the Syndicate's Dominion Run Game 1. At least I didn't have to put a table 1 in there this time. It's table 2. But we're calling it the final table. Either way. So the whole gang is here. One table, 10 players. This is it. Everybody vying for points on a leaderboard that will continue to go on for the next 8 weeks. The top competitors on that leaderboard will compete in one final table at the end of the 8 weeks and be crowned the Dominion Run winner. But with so many different series and everything going on, you can win a little bit here and there and always come back to be at a final table. Now to the players that have joined us here at the final table is Boss. Love some Hold'em. 57th overall best season sit and go ranking over at PokerNow.club with the sit and go series. That's ranked. Series games won with the Syndicate, also 111. Everybody's tied across the board with that. Nothing in the notable poker accolades Boss wanted to share, but we do know that the Syndicate overall ranking for Boss is 6th overall currently right now for the Player of the Year award that will be awarded. Also information about that on the website for syndicatepokerclub.com. Such your player Boss, hailing from the third rock from the sun. Six king queen, 2 clubs. Freakchild checks his action over to Frank. 300 to go from Frank. Off to Forking Ace, who will fold it out. Freakchild will check it. Or call it. Whatever he did. Now he'll bet 1627. Buck 50, 300 on the blinds. Boss says no for limping in even. Quadzilla's out. Freakchild raises it up 1050. Off to no fold Frank. And nobody wanted to play. Freakchild showing off his pair nines. Also known as the German Virgins. 9-9. Get it? Ha ha. 1200 to go from Molly Mary. Pre-flop. Nobody wants to play for those numbers either. Molly Mary will take some more chips onto her stack as well. Off to Larry Alice, Freakchild, where are we at? No fold Frank. Everybody's folding out. Larry Alice and Freakchild going at it. Both players check. Larry Alice checks it. Freakchild bets the pot, 2250. Larry Alice goes all in. Freakchild calls it. And wow, do we have a hand? Wow, there it is. And that will finish it out. It was a possibility of a full house for the Freakchild. Larry Alice will take that, having the straight on the turn. $300 to go for everybody. Jamrock in the seat, hot seat. Everybody popping out of this one so far. Nobody wants to limp in. Boss will limp in. And Quadzilla says no more limping in. We're going to pay for these cards. 900. That's 600 more to go to Boss, who will call 224. 2 hearts, 4 of hearts, and a 2 of spades. $600 a piece, as we see a queen of diamonds on the river. $3,600 in the pot. Quad's going for about a little less than half on that one, 1,500. Boss says no thanks. Quadzilla does not show. Larry Alice, $150 on the small blind. Freakchild 300 on the big blind. Nobody limping in or doing anything. Casely will play. Boss is out. Quads is out. Larry Alice limping it. Freakchild checks it. And we got a check. No, 300 to go from Casely. Everybody's going to stick around for that one. And 18 to go from Freakchild. Casely. Says no. Larry Alice says no. Freakchild catching 2 pair on the turn in the river there. As we head off to the next. And take a peek at our true leaderboard at the moment as the action continues. Quadzilla sitting currently in first. Molly Mary sitting second. Larry Alice. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. Or was right. Anyway, Forking Ace hole, 5th. Freakchild sitting 6th. Jammer Boss, Biggie, and No Fold Frank rounding out the last spots. No Fold Frank sitting in the short stack, 1627 left in his stack. We got an all-in here from Boss against Quadzilla, and that will take Boss out in 10th place, as Quadzilla will take that one down. So that just changed our leaderboard just a little bit there. Quadzilla now with a little bit bigger lead over Molly Mary. Boss finishing out 10th. No Fold Frank still as the short stack currently. $900. That's 600 more to go for Jammer. He's out. Same to Casely. She'll play. 3 Queen 8 Rainbow. Got a heart, a spade, and a diamond. 300 from God. Casely will go with it. 4 spades. Another 6 to go for Casely. And Casely says no. Too scary. There was the straight. Quadzilla adds to the ever-growing chip stack. You're on the Dominion Run, Game 1. Final table. Last 9 players now standing. Biggie Large folds. Molly Mary, 350. Frankie on the option. And he will check it. A 10-3 ace. Molly Mary checks it over to Frank. Board is rainbowed with a spade, heart, and diamond. Frank's all in on this one. Frank showing a Queen Jack with an Ace 5 over at Larry Alice, who called the all in. Larry Alice with the Ace High, right, or pair of aces. And a straight being caught on the river of tears. Saves No Fold Frank for the Broadway straight. What a catch. Biggie Large will hang on to this one and play in the hand. No Fold Frank is moving along to not limp it in. Jamrock on the option. He will check it. 3 King Deuce. Another rainbowed flop. 350 from Biggie. Jammer is out. Biggie Large taking that one. Biggie Large. He's old. He showed up for a game on time once. 67th overall best season poker now sit and go ranking. Syndicate overall, though, he is sitting 3rd in the Player of the Year points race. Find out more about Biggie Large over at the Syndicate website, syndicatepokerclub.com. All the players have profiles that don't always get to air. You can read all about them there. He's not Keanu Reeves, dude. Quadzilla and Larry Alice going at this one. 2 of clubs, 9 of spades, King of spades.
Hey man, I got something to say to you here right now.
What I need to know is why order two grill. See me? Now we got 7143 going over the top. Quad's taking Leary Alice all in. Had to get serious there for a minute instead of doing voices. Biggie Large shows he had trip twos. Just a king on quad that he'll show. Freak Child's out. Biggie Large 350. Frank will play. And we got 4 in the hand. 8-6 deuce. 8 of spades, 6 of diamonds, deuce of clubs. Everybody, John Malkovich is it. The 9 of diamonds. And a 5 of clubs rounds it out. Casely going 10-50. Nobody says, everybody says. They out. Casely 2 pair. Biggie Large is out of there. Molly Mary. Pop it up for a few more. 700. Frankster. Going up. 1050. Slightly over the top. Molly Mary will call the extra little bit of that. 6-4 deuce. 4 deuce of clubs, 6 of 6 of spades, whatever that thing is. Back when you were kids, did you call them shovels? When you were playing Go Fish. Frank is all in, 14.29. Molly Mary, 14.29 to call. Tough spot, says Molly Mary. And Molly Mary will let that one go. Pocket Jacks. Play them just right. They actually do survive in the Syndicate. Normally they don't. Pocket Jacks are the devil and are actually considered the Antichrist of the Syndicate Poker Club. Leary Alice will take a few extra chips with no effort. Biggie Large under the gun for 350. Says no, Molly Mary is moving on. She says no limping in now. And so far nobody wants to play with Molly Mary's 10:06. No fold Frank. Hey, Frank. I need a voice for you, Frank. I'm going to make a voice for you. Hey, Frank, instead of talking about the commentary you're listening to, why don't you play the fucking game here, huh? Jam rock and roll. I don't know what the hell's going on. 7-4 king. Everybody's checking it down. Check, check, check. John Malkovich for Queen of Diamonds. And a 9 of clubs on the river. And we will see this one all for free. No fold Frank will take that one for a little 12.25 extra in his pocket. We got about another minute and a half of these blinds, and then they go up again. Frank's not going to wait for that, though. He says now. Doubles up to 700. Jammer's going to play. Casely. Is out of there. Everybody's jumping out of there. And that will leave Frank and Jammer with a King 4-7, rainbowed out with a club, a spade, and a heart. Have a heart, Frank. 1925, he bets. I'll put Jammer almost all in. And Jammer says, no thanks. Frank, big slick, had a pair of kings. Probably be the last hand we see at $1.75, $3.50. And then the blinds will go up again. Grinder of the game. Due to the blind structure, this game is going on almost 2 hours now. Ace 9, 8. Most everybody's used to a syndicate game only lasting about an hour. We got 3 diamonds sitting out there. That's a 5. That's another 5 out there, but that's a heart. If it was a 5 of diamonds, we'd have a real fucking problem on our hands. Pocket Kings from Quadzilla will take that one. Casely under the gun. Blinds are up at 2-4. Quads out. Larry Alice out. Freak Child will limp in. Molly Mary will limp in. Fold, no fold Frank. And we will see the flop for a Jack 3-4. Jammer will check it over to the 4-king ace hole, who checks it. Freak Child bets 4. Molly will play it. Frank out. Jamrock is out. 4-king ace hole, 400. And it's a 10. Freak Child goes for another 400. Molly's out. 4-king ace hole. Freak Child going all in. And we'll take that one down. Quadzilla with the big stack. 23-4-20. Doubles it up to 800. Leary Alice, Freak Child are out of there. Biggie, no go. Molly, fuck no. 10-6, 10. 2 tens, 2 spades. Is that technically 2 pair? Four-king ace hole with the 3 of hearts. Is that 3 pair? And a 3. And 2 pair of 10s and 3s with the ace kicker for 4-king ace hole. Leary Alice would have had a full house. Let's take a peek at that actual leaderboard, though. You guys see where everybody actually is sitting. Quadzilla sitting in first. Big time overstacked over 2. Number 2 place, Molly Mary. About 3 times the second place stack there. Freak Child running in third. 4-king ace holes, close fourth. Frank has moved his way back up to 5th. Leary Alice down at 6th. Jam Rock and Roll currently the short stack at 1455 of the Dominion Run, Game 1. Syndicate Poker Club Fall Session? I don't know what the hell you'd call it. And Casely will take that with just a high card. 1,200 chips added to that little stack. Biggie Large will limp in for the 400. Molly Mary will triple that one up to 12. Frank will play. Jamrock is out. Acer's in. Casely's out. Quad is out. Freechild will go for the raise. 10-3-10. That one is rainbowed up with a club, a spade, and a diamond. Checked around to no fold Frank, who does not live up to his name. 800 over to Forking Ace Hole. Freechild will play that one along. 4 hearts on the turn. Frank's sitting at 30.04 left in his stack. 800 to go. Freechild's out. Molly Mary will call it. Checked out with a 2 on the board. Pocket queens from Frank. Pocket 8s from Molly. Molly says, I had a feeling. How does that song go? I forget the lyrics. I know the tune. Fucking Flashdance. If it weren't for the fact we get a copyright strike for that, I would dial that one up for you guys tonight. I swear to God. 400 to go for Jammer. 400, no. Quads, no. Larry Alice won't do it. Freechild. Steal the blinds, or not even steal them. Little effort, no effort. With an 8-5 off. Jammer, our short stack sitting 14.45, will not go. Quads, our chip leader, will not play. Nobody's playing. Well, Freechild at least showing why he wasn't playing. 7 deuce. $400 to go for Jammer, who's still not going to play that one either. Freechild will limp in for the 4. Molly Mary on the option. And it'll get checked. Freechild says 1,000 to go. Molly will call it. Another queen on the board. Freechild going 3,000. Ace on the river. And Freechild will take that one, taking Molly Mary all in with trip queens, 3 of a kind. Molly Mary will end her run at the Dominion Run in 9th place. As Freechild pretty much doubled up on that one. Molly Mary, who led most of the game. Headed out. So that leaves us with 8. Every time we think that it's going to be our short stacks that we're going to see next out, it ends up not being. So here we are. 2 more minutes left at the 200, 400 blinds. They'll go up to 250, 500 here in about a little over a minute and a half. Biggie Large, 12 to go. And Biggie Large is all in. Led pre-flop, but not with that 9. 7 of spades comes on the turn, and the 6 does not help. Biggie Large will make an exit. In 8th place of the Syndicate's Dominion Run Game 1. Which leads us down the road of 7 players left. Freak Child pops it up to 1,400. Jamrock would have to go all in. Nobody wants to play there. Freak Child shows his pocket queens. We're off to the next. Quadzilla under the gun. Triples up to 1,200. Nobody wants to play there. Frank will go. Jamrock. And this will leave Quads and Frank going with this one. 9, 3, 9. 2 spades in the club. And now we got 3 9s on the board with a 3. 3 9s with a 3. And it's completely rainbow, too. One of each suit. Although I would hope so. Or no, I'm sorry, there's 2 spades. My eyes cross over so many 9s. That's a lot of German virgins right there. $1,200 to go from Lyrialis. Frank, no thanks. That will take Jammer all in at 945. Another 1,000 for Casely, no thanks. And this will be Ace King, Ace Deuce. Clubs are about all Jamrock can hang on to here. If he catches one club, he might get it. And he does. It's on the river. The nasty river that is known to hit so much in online poker. There you go. Jamrock back in it. So we continue in on this final table of the Syndicate's Dominion Run game number 1.
This one's for the grinders, the ghosts of bankrolls past, and everyone who's ever lost to a guy named Ricky, holding 6-9 offsuit on a prayer.
I had the nuts on the turn, felt like a king, counting my chips, hearing the angels sing. He called my shove like he couldn't care less, said let's see what happens, oh no this fucking ass. Board paired the river, my soul took a hit, he slow rolled me quads while eating Cool Ranch chips. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes, now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. Another day, another dollar lost, flopped a straight thought, I'll show him who's boss. He called with 2 pair, weak as can be, then the board paired up naturally. He fist bumped the guy in a Scooby-Doo hat while I stared at the felt flat on my back. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes, now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. I once believed in math, in discipline, in range, but now I believe in bad beats and emotional change. They say variance, I say witchcraft. They say don't tilt, I say laugh on my behalf. Cashed out my chips, walked into the night, past the neon sign and the soda Sprite light. My bankroll's gone, but my soul remains, scarred by maniacs and psychic pains. If
If you see me wandering with hollow eyes, just know the river's where my sanity lies. Down by the river of tears, where straits get cracked and you face your fears. It's not just the cards, it's the pain of the peers who hit runner, and then cheers. Yeah, I'll see you again. On that river of tears.
Well, that's about the story of the Syndicate and the story of this game, the River of Tears. Holy moly. Still got 7 players sitting here at table 2, or also known as the final table of the Dominion Run. Game 1. Syndicate Poker Club's fall session of different series. Another game tomorrow. Almost 12 hours from now, another game will happen, 1 o'clock Eastern. That one will be The Accord, more no limit hold'em from the Syndicate Poker Club. It will not be streamed, but it will be being played. Check all the games over at syndicatepokerclub.com. 8 queen queen. We've got 2 spades. There's a club as well. 1748 from Jammer. Called Leary Alice's all in with a 5-7 of spades. And she catches the flush on the turn. It was the turn of turmoil. Not the River of Tears. Yes, there's a song for that as well. That keeps Leary Alice alive. Lines 250-500. It is over to Jamrock. 742 left in his stack. He is now the short stack. Larry Alice Quadzilla going for the limpy limps. 4-8 queen, 2 hearts. 1,000 to go now. 500 more to quad. Who is our chip leader currently with a 3 of spades on the turn. 15 from Lear. And that will put Leary Alice all in, and easy call with a queen ace over the jack 8 for a pair of queens instead of a pair of 8s. Leary Alice way back in the game now. Swings are real. Here goes Jammer looking for his chance at some swings. 742 all in. Forking Ace-Hole now has gone all in, which will be enough to get everybody out of there. German Virgins versus Ace 5. Ace, the only thing that will help here. And that will do it for Jam Rock and Roll with a valiant fight to stay in the game. Taken out by Forking Ace-Hole. So that will pop Jammer out in 7th place in game number 1. Which leads us to our leaderboard, which is a little bit off center and off kilter, but that's what's best about, or that's what it just, yeah, whatever. You know what the fuck I'm saying. Quadzilla is still in the chip lead at over 20 grand. No Fold Frank about half that much, a little more, sitting in second. Leary Alice has fought back to be right behind that. Freak Child, not far behind that. And then pretty far back there is Forking Ace-Hole and Casely, both sitting underneath what their starting chip stacks were. So that's where we're at. No Fold Frank, Leary Alice, and Forking Ace-Hole at it. Queen of Hearts and a Queen 7 of Diamonds. 1,500 to go from Forking Ace-Hole over to Lear. Lear will play. Frankie says no. And a 3 of clubs. All in from Forking Ace Hole over to Leary Alice, who we've just been told in the booth has been being picked on all night. Shame on you people. Leary Alice taking a good long think about this one. And we'll call it pocket eights over a 7-8. And that will do it for Forking Ace Hole, as Leary Alice comes roaring back like hell. Or something. I don't know what you're supposed to say. Like a lion. Supposed to sing like a lion, man. Yeah. And Poker Cat says, yeah. Leary Alice is back in the game big time. And that will leave Casely and Freechild as the 2 low stacks at this point of the game now. As we are at 250, 500 for the blinds, only for this hand, one more hand left. And then they will pop up to 3-6. Everybody's going to see that 1,000. Check from both players. 500 is enough to get Freechild out of that one with his pocket kings. $600 to go now. Tripled up from Casely. Freechild not playing around, 6,900. Casely goes with it with pocket fives. Pocket fives versus pocket eights. 2 low cards, not quite there. And Casely catches the 5 on the turn of turmoil and will hold on to it with a full boat. 5's full of 3s. Taking down Freechild's pocket eights, the Snowmen. And things are getting interesting in the Dominion run. Casely, 600 to go. And a 7-4-3, 2 hearts on the board. Leary Alice checks it. Freechild and Frank both check it. Everybody's checking around. And a 9 comes on the river. 2 clubs out there. Everybody's checking it down. Freechild will take it with 2 pair. 9s over 4s. With the 9 on the river. It's the turn in the river that's making the games tonight, folks. So if you think something looks really good on the flop, I don't think that's going to be the case when it comes down to the turn in the river, because that's where most of the hands are being made tonight. 3-8 Jack, all rainbowed up. That'll be a 7 of clubs. Freechild checks it over to no fold Frank. Big time ace of diamonds. And Frank will take that one with a high card on a king. Freechild folding it out. Frank says 1,200 to go to Casely. Was in the big blind for 600. And Casely will not call the extra 6. Six to go from Frank. Somebody tell Leary Alice to go get me coffee, by the way. Extra 300 from Casely. Queen 7-6 on the board. 2 spades. Quads goes 6. Frank says no. And we are currently getting a ruling coming into the booth right now from the Syndicate's very own Poker Cat, official referee of the Syndicate Poker Club. Hometown Litterbox, 9 years of age. Has not much else to say other than meow. But the rules that all apply in the Syndicate all come through good old Poker Cat. If you don't abide by the rules, Poker Cat comes and tells you. Leary Alice will take that one, as we got to see that just at the very end. Leary Alice and Freak Child going at this one with 7-9. Jack of Spades comes. And both players will check it down. Leary Alice will take it with a pair of sixes on the river. Over to Frank, who was down to his last heartbeat at one moment. $1,200 will not work for Quadzilla's, where it'll work for Quadzilla. It ain't going to work for anybody else. Leary Alice tripling it up to 18. 12 to go for Casely. She'll play. 7, Queen, 8. All diamonds on that board. 18 from Casely. Leary Alice says, no ma'am. Casely showing a pair of queens. Over to Frank, 600. Casely. Whoa, Casely is quadrupling that one up. 24. Frank will think about this. And we will see a Jack 6-7. Rainbowed with a spade, diamond, and a club. Frank just going for the minimum 600. Casely going way over that 6 times at 3,600. So 3,000 to go for no fold Frank. No fold Frank says no, thank you. No fold Frank, once again, not living up to his goddamn name. Wrong with these people. Leary Alice and Freak Child check it over to Casely. Casely goes for 12. Leary Alice is out. Freak Child says, no thank you, Casely, showing a pair of 9s. 300, 600 from Freak Child and Frank, respectively, for the blinds. Quadzilla will play along. Leary Alice will see it. Freak Child along for the ride. Fold, no fold Frank. Liar, liar, pants on fire. My name is not anything that means anything. Waiting on him. 3 bets it back up to 1,800. 12 to go for everybody. Quadzilla. Over to Leary Alice. And 12 to go was not good enough for anybody there. Frank will hold on to that one. King, queen, four, all rainbowed up. A six of clubs comes on the turn. Casely and quads going at it. Check. Quads goes 12. And quads will take that one down. Not telling anybody what was behind those cards. Nine, deuce, deuce. Six of hearts, 600 to go from quad. Larry Alice says no. Freakchild says he's out of there. Blinds have gone up, 350, 700. Queen five, deuce, two hearts. Larry Alice in the hot seat, 14 to go. Over to Frank. Another deuce comes on the turn. 700 from Lear. And king of clubs. And Larry Ellis will take that with a pair of queens. Two pair, actually. No fold Frank, 700 to call the big blind. Casely will play along. Quads is out. Lear is out. Freakchild checks his option. Another check from the Freakchild. Casely going 14. That's enough to get Freakchild out of there. Larry Alice has 700 to go. We'll see that. And Freakchild making a move, 25.68, all in. Over to Casely. Too much for them. Larry Alice says too much for her. Freakchild showing pocket sevens. Freakchild going 24.50. Too rich for Frank. And Casely as well. Freakchild with the German Virgins again. Eight, deuce, seven, all diamond up. Queen of clubs comes on the turn. Both players check it out. 700 to call. Freakchild will bow out of that one. Quadzilla will take that one. Seven, five, eight. All rainbowed up. Another seven comes on the turn. That'll pair up the board. Larry Alice checks it over to Casely, 700. Go, go. Reach out, checks the option. Queen, king, queen, jack, 2 clubs. Over to quads, who will check it. Both players check it down to the river. 7 of clubs comes out. 14 from Quadzilla. And Freakchild will say no thank you. Quadzilla with the straight. Big old Broadway. $700. Over to quads. Says no, we're doubling it up. Freakchild will go along with the flow. Frank will as well. Casely says okie doke. King, queen, deuce. Freakchild checks it. Frank goes all in at 2404. Casely says no. Quads will go. Freakchild bows out. No fold Frank on a flush draw. And Quadzilla will take that one down with a pair of kings. No fold Frank will exit in 5th place. On this long grinder series, the Dominion Run. Casely pocket twos will not be able to see what they're worth there. Everybody's going to play around with 700 here. Quadzilla will run it up. Freakchild will go with the all-in, 22-18 all-in. King, queen against 7 ace, both offsuit. Right now the high card leading. Now a pair of queens for Quadzilla. And the River of Tears does not come for the Freakchild to bail him out. And that will give Quadzilla another win. Taking the Freakchild out, making him our 4th place finisher in the Dominion Run. Game 1 of the Grinder Series. Casely says 21 to go. 9, deuce, 7, rainbowed. And that'll be enough to get quads out of there. $21 to go from quads. 9 jack king on the board. $21 from Casely, and a big show, pretty much, well, I don't know what the hell that is, but 13,420 from quads. I think that would be an all-in for Casely. And that will be enough to get Casely to fold that one out to try and survive for another hand or two. Quadzilla dominating the game once he got a good chip stack lead. Leary Alice able to fight back from life support. Now sitting in 2nd. Couple of queens and a 3 on the board. 4 of clubs to go on the turn. And an ace of spades to finish it out. Quads checks it to Lear, who will also check it. And it's a pair of queens with an 8 kicker, basically. King, Jack, 7. 2 hearts. 2 big hearts out there, the king and the jack. 6 of spades, whatever the fuck that is. We've been calling this game for almost 2.5 hours. I can't see straight. Is that a 6-sided die? Poker dice. Right, Poker Cat? He says yes. Blinds are up 400, 800. Casely, under the gun, says no. Quads. Going 16. And we got 2,400 to go. Both players will be seeing this flop. 9, Jack, 4. 2 clubs, Jack and a 4. 9 diamonds. Another club comes on the turn. It's an ace. Larry Alice says 48 to go. Casely says, nope, I'm going all in. Larry Alice does have the flush. And no River of Tears help for Casely either. Looking for the boat. With 3 of a kind jacks, Larry Alice will take the flush on that one. Casely finishing out 3rd place in the Dominion Run Game 1. 5-10 Jack. We are heads up. Larry Alice, Quadzilla. Will they get aggressive? Will they take it easy? We shall see. With a couple of kings and a 4 on the board. King and a 4 of diamonds, king of hearts. 24 from quad. Larry Alice, also known as the Mermaid, what is it? Mermaid Genie. $4,000 to go from Quadzilla. Larry Alice exclaims, phew, with the 6 of spades coming. Interesting. Now a 10 of spades on the river. Larry Alice has the action. Goes all in. Quadzilla does not go. And that will put Larry Alice on top for now. Ace, 6, 7. $24 from quad to go. And that will do it. Larry Alice taking down Quadzilla for first place in the Syndicate's Grinder Series, the Dominion Run Game 1. Quadzilla taking down second Casely in 3rd. As this game has finished up, let's take a peek at how that leaderboard finished out. Larry Alice first, Quadzilla second, Casely 3rd. Freakchild in 4th, No Fold Frank in 5th. Too many F's in this. See, there's another one. 4 King Ace Wall in 6. Jam Rock and Roll 7. Biggie Large in 8th. Molly Mary and Boss 9th and 10th. And finishing it out, Millie and Marta in 11th and 12th. So there we are. That is the end of Game 1. The Dominion Run. Right here. From the Syndicate Poker Club. SyndicatePokerClub.com. Playing live over at PokerNow.club. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back with another game one of these days.